Welcome to News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery.
Welcome to the West Texas View. I'm Johnny Lou Avery, and my two guests today are from Summer Mummers and the Midland Community Theater. Jessie Willman is a staff member at the MCT, but she's also the co-author of this year's script of Summer Mummers. And joining us is Shannon Tate, who is the other author of the script. And this year's script of Summer Mummers, the 62nd season, not many places have been around 62 years, much less going strong in the theater. And this year's program is entitled Serenaded Sweetly in a Sandstorm, or Tone Deaf in the Tall City. And for many of you in our viewing audience, you are very familiar with Summer Mummers and you look forward to it each year. But for the newcomers in the city, I want Shannon and Jessie to give us just a little bit of the history and the background about Summer Mummers and what it's all about. If you're not familiar with melodramas or that kind of thing, just tell us what we need to know about the history.
Well, Summer Mummers has been going on here in Midland. Like you said, this is our 62nd season. It's one of the longest running melodramas in the state of Texas and also in our nation. That's something that we're very proud of, and we love to draw people in every single year so that we can keep this tradition strong here in Midland. And it's a melodrama, and if you don't know what a melodrama is, it's basically overacting. It is a villain, a hero, a heroine. Sometimes they have their buddies along with them. There's always a struggle over the heroine and something that the heroine might own between the villain and the hero. And then there's audience participation. And at our melodrama, we have popcorn, and you can throw as much popcorn as you want at the villain.
And they do sacks and sacks and sacks of popcorn.
Oh my goodness, we sell.
Last summer we sold $50,000 in popcorn
alone.
But I want to go back though to the history. In 62 years, it's been almost a sellout every night, and it goes for weeks and weeks in the summer. And we want to talk about the venue later, but it is a completely different play every year, and even as you said, it changes from night to night sometimes.
It does.
But it's something that is, if you went last year, you need to still come this year. And I want y'all to talk a little bit about the script in a minute, but I want us to go back to a little bit more about the history. When you started 62 years ago, how did this come about? 62 years ago was what?
1949.
49.
That's fast math.
That is fast math.
Well, some members of the theater were sitting around trying to figure out how to bring in some more money into the theater, and they started talking about how in California they've been doing The Drunkard, which is one of probably the most famous melodrama there is, and how it had been bringing in a lot of money for theaters in California. So they decided we should try it, and 62 years later, here we are, still going strong.
And still calling on people like you to come up with fresh new scripts all the time.
That's one of the best things I think about Midland and about Summer Mummers, is that it's almost always a locally written script. Now, occasionally we have gone to the archives and we've pulled out an old script, but it's been transitioned, it's been updated, it's been modified. And if we do pull an old script, it does get changed before it is presented again. But locally, we encourage our writers to come out and our volunteers to come out and to present the scripts. And there's a play selection committee, and there's multiple scripts that are presented in every year, and then one is chosen, and then there's a rewrite session that Shannon and I sat in on to tweak just the fine points, and then it is presented to everyone in the summer for 3 months. And I think that's one of the best things, is that we are not only using local talent on stage, but to write the script as well.
But so how many people does it take to put on this play? And I'm not just talking about the actors, but the people behind the scenes and the ticket sellers. And
probably about 100 volunteers a night. That's your cast, that's your crew, that's your bartenders, that's your popcorn sellers, that's your token sellers, that's your booth crew, your backstage crew, that's
popcorn poppers. we have entire groups that are dedicated just to popping the popcorn, and that can be anywhere from 5 to 15 people.
Because the first time I ever went, I bought one tiny little sack, and that was gone in
just
about
not
2 minutes.
It's
Then
your
I had to go back and
ammunition.
buy a big one. And the fun you have, if you have little kids, it's just as much fun for them that maybe don't even understand the
Right.
jokes, but they have so much fun because everybody is involved in a
And
summer
we do
Mummers.
encourage that you bring 16 and up. We don't encourage kids to come because it's not bad humor, but
There
there
is
are a
something-
couple adult jokes maybe, but we encourage you not to bring anybody under the age of 16. If you do, you do. We're not going to kick you out, but that's your decision. But we encourage you to be 16 or older
Good.
to
I'm
come.
glad you mentioned that because I didn't know. As I can remember, I don't remember seeing many little children, but I think I had seen one or two. But the other thing that I think is so much fun is that the venue, the setting of it is so perfect for that. And I think one of you mentioned that it had not always been at the Yucca Theater.
No, as a matter of fact, it was at 3 other locations before Mummers moved and made the Yucca their home. We actually were able to purchase the building in 1981, and we have been at the Yucca ever since then. So it's been just a joy because people now associate the Yucca Theater with Summer Mummers.
Because that's 30 years in itself. That's almost half of the time.
That is our home.
And because the setting is so close to what the play looks like, what you think the play is going to be. But now let's talk about the actors. How do you choose who's going to do which part?
Well, there's a cattle call that we have every year, and that is open to anyone. We try to do some advertising, and we have everyone come out and come down to the Yucca. We have a party, we serve some food, and then we pass out the scripts, and anyone can audition. You don't have to be you don't have to have previous experience.
So you didn't give them the script 2 weeks before, and
Oh,
they already
no.
said, I want this role, right?
Oh, no.
There's a casting committee. They watch you read through. It's a long.
It's a 3-day process.
It is, and they have tough decisions to make by the end of auditions because there's always several people that are good for each role. So.
But you also double book each role so that in this period of time, June the 11th to September the 4th, you need two sets of actors for every role.
It is double
so
cast.
that you have someone to back up. We're going to have to take a break right now. We're going to be back and talk more about the Summer Mummers, but let me just reiterate, any Friday and Saturday between June the 11th and September 4th, and you call the Midland Community Theater office for tickets, and that number rolls across your screen every once in a while, and call that or get on site and get more information. But this is a fun show. Invite people that you know from all over Texas to come in because it'll be a fun weekend for them. We'll see you in just a minute with the rest of this program.
Stay tuned. West Texas View will be right back.